Hello and welcome to my booktube channel. My name is Alice and I'm a lover of books. This is my channel where I discuss them. Today I have a book haul for you. I personally love watching book hauls, although they're not the best for my purse, but yeah, so just gonna get straight into it. The first book I have here, so the first two books that I bought are both classics. So the one I have here is Dracula by Bram Stoker. Do I really need to go into what this is about? I'm not sure. It's about a vampire. Part of it, I believe, is set in Whitby, which is not too far away from where I live. And it's, yeah, kind of a Victorian horror. I bought this because I actually want to read this October. I've read Frankenstein and I've read Jekyll and Hyde, so this is my next sort of foray into British Victorian horror stories. So I don't know why I bought it now, but I did. But I will not be reading this till October, but it's in my possession anyway. And then the next book is a book I do definitely want to get to reading a lot quicker than October, and that is, again, it's a Penguin Classics edition of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. So yeah, I'm not like 100% sure what this is about, but basically it's a governess called Jane Eyre who goes to stay at an estate, I guess, like a country estate. And there she meets a man who she might be attracted to, and he might be attracted to her. There's a challenged wife in the attic. I also have Wide Saragossa Sea by Jean Rhys, which I think is like a retelling sort of from the perspective of the wife in the attic. So yeah, I want to get to that, so I wanted to read Jane Eyre first. But I also want to read Jane Eyre because I've not read any Charlotte Bronte yet, and I think I love her. I'm pretty sure I love her, so I want to start with what's probably her most famous book. So that's it for the classics. Now we're getting on to more contemporary works, although this one, which is Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, the winner of the Women's Prize for Fiction 2023. I believe this is a retelling of Charles Dickens' David Copperfield, but set in the Appalachian Mountains in the United States. Yeah, I think it's set in like a very poverty-stricken environment and follows a young boy, similar to David Copperfield. I tried to avoid this book because I don't know why, I just did, but I've been watching people's end of year wrap-ups and everyone's been raving about this. A lot of people have put it in their like favourite books of the year list, so I had to pick it up for myself. So yeah, very excited to get to that one. It is quite a chunker. It is, yeah, it's over 500 pages, so it's pretty big, but I feel like I'm gonna devour it, so I'm excited for that. And then the next three books, which I'm super excited for, are all by the same author. This is an author that I've read precisely one book of. I've read My Year of Rest and Relaxation, and I absolutely loved it. So now that I've started my booktube channel, I really want to do an Otessa, I can't say her name, Otessa Moshfegh video, like a special video for her works, like just probably discussing them or something, maybe listing them, putting them in an organized list from best to worst. But yeah, I also just want to read more of her because I really loved My Year of Rest and Relaxation. So I have got three of her books. I've got Death in Her Hands, which is basically about a woman who finds a body, and I think she becomes like obsessed with like finding out how this woman died, and the body has a note. I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to know too much going into these books, so I haven't done too much investigation, but that's the first one. And then this is the one I'm most excited for, and I love the cover. This is Lapvona. I love the blue. I love the like sort of Renaissance looking painting of a sheep, and the black and the matte cover. Oh, it's just perfect. But this sounds really unique and I'm super excited. It is set in a medieval fiefdom, and yeah, it's about a motherless shepherd boy who finds himself at the centre of a power struggle that puts all manner of faith to a savage test. So that sounds really exciting. I literally can't wait to get to this. I'm tempted to pick it up now, even though I've got loads of books on the go. But yeah, and then the last one, which is the one I hate the cover for the most, but it's Eileen. This is a psychological thriller. Honestly, if I saw this like in a bookshop, if I saw this like, this looks like the type of thing that would be on a 3 for 2 in Tesco, I'd be like, oh, that looks like absolute crap. But yeah, luckily I know Otessa Moshfegh, and yeah, I think this is, I'm not gonna read the back, but it sounds very depressing and unusual and quite enchanting. So yeah, I'll probably get to that last because I think this is the one I'm least excited for. I don't normally read psychological thrillers, but it is Otessa Moshfegh, so I'm gonna give it a go. And then the next 4 I've got are all non-fiction, and 3 of them were actually Christmas presents, but this one wasn't. So this one is The New Age of Empire, How Racism and Colonialism Still Rule the World by Kehinde Andrews. So I've had this on my list of books I want to read for quite a while. I read Black and British by David Olusoga at the beginning of last year, and I mean, I feel like saying you enjoyed it is a bit weird, but I just devoured it. I found it like really, it was really interesting. It's really sad, and you know, I'm not one of those people who thinks that people need to be guilty because of their ancestors, but I think it's really important at the least that people educate themselves and are aware of the history of their own country so that we can stop awful things happening again in the future. So this is quite a short one. This is not anywhere near the chunker that Black and British was, but I mean, there's a chapter on genocide, colonialism, the non-white West. So I think it's going to be really interesting, really eye-opening, and probably a little bit challenging, but I'm really looking forward to that one. And yeah, the next 3 were all Christmas presents. So the first one is the only one that I asked for from my dad, and this is Fear, An Alternative History of the World by Robert Peckham. This is a book, Robert Peckham is a historian, and it's basically all about the history of fear throughout the world. So I think it's going to go through like the pandemic and other pandemics that have happened. It's going to go through wars. I think it's going to go through dictatorships and even Western politics, and discuss how fear and fear can kind of control people and get people to join your cause, but also I think it's going to discuss how fear can actually free us up. So I'm really looking forward to getting into the nitty-gritty of it. I am on page 32, but I want to read more. And then the next 2 are just presents that I got because people thought I'd like them. So this one is Unruly, The History of England's Kings and Queens by David Mitchell. I do kind of love British royal history. It's very complicated and it's quite difficult to, I just realised the books have been like out of the frame this whole time, but oh well. It's very complicated and it's, you know, it's quite hard to get your head around all the kings and queens. But I'm hoping David Mitchell, who this is the comedian David Mitchell, not the writer, the author David Mitchell, is going to make it nice and sort of digestible and fun and hopefully funny. yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's got some pictures as well. Fun fact, I actually thought that the author David Mitchell and the comedian, actor and writer David Mitchell were the same person for years, and I just thought that David Mitchell was a very talented man. But turns out they're not the same person, and I think this is one of, if not David Mitchell's first book. And yeah, I'm really excited to read it and learn about British royal history, or English royal history, I should say. And then the last book is just a really pretty coffee table book that my friend bought. So this is Vogue on Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel is not someone whose politics I agreed with. I didn't agree with, like, you know, those stupid quotes of hers that go around, but the woman was fashionable, and, you know, original Chanel was fashionable. So it's just got loads of like pictures of her. It does discuss her a little bit, which I might read, I might not, but either way, it's just nice to have beautiful illustrations and pictures of a very stylish woman. So yeah, that is everything for my book haul. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment down below any books that you've got recently, or any books that you think you're going to end up buying. I always like to discuss that with people, and thank you so much for watching.